Hi, so in this video, we are going to learn how to solve simple linear equations. Okay, so for our first example, we have here 3x plus 4 equals x minus 10. And in any linear equation that you are going to solve, your end goal or our end goal is to have the variable be equal to something. So meaning, one of our agenda is to have the term with the variable to be retained in one side alone, and the rest must be on the other side. And in our example, as you can see in the left side, we still have a positive 4. Okay, here's our positive 4, and we want the 3x to be retained or stay in our left side. What we need to do is to remove the positive 4, so we add opposite, which is negative 4, and we will also be adding a negative 4 on the other side to make it still balanced, because again, we are dealing with an equation which has an equal side. So we need to make it balanced in whatever we do or whatever we apply on the left side must also be applied on your right side. So what will happen here is that we'll have 3x plus 4. We add a negative 4. And x minus 10, we add a negative 4 as well. Again, the reason we do that is for this pair to become 0. And a positive added to its negative version will always be 0. So we'll just have 3x as equal to x. And as for this 2, negative 10 plus negative 4, that gives us negative 14. So we can write it simply as minus 14. No, it's not yet done because we still have a variable on the right side. So we need to remove it here by again doing the same process as what we did with positive 4. So we need to remove the x. So we add its opposite, which is a negative x. And we do that also on the left side to make it balance. So let's write it horizontally. 3x plus negative x equals x plus negative x minus 14. Now here, we can remove the x and a negative x since their coefficients are 1 and a negative 1, so they will cancel out each other. And as for 3x plus negative 1x, there's an imaginary negative 1 here. So we'll have 2x left as equal to negative 14. Are we done solving? Not yet, because again, all we want to know is just the value of x and not 2x. So what we need to do here, since the operation in between our constant here and the variable x is multiplication, so let's do the opposite operation, which is the division. So we will be dividing it by 2, so that when we divide 2x by 2, it will cancel out each other because the answer will be 1 here. But since we divide 2 on the left side, so we also divide 2 on the right side. And we'll have x equal to negative 7. And this is your final answer. Next example, let's have 7x plus 2 equals 2x minus 13. Again, start with the constant terms. So we retain 7x here, and let's add a negative 2 on both sides so we can remove this. So I'll just simply cancel it out because that will give us 0. Then we'll have 7x is equal to 2x minus 13 plus a negative 2 plus a negative 2. And this is simply 7x equals 2x minus 15x, because the result here is negative 15x, and simply minus 15x. And like what we did in the previous example, we also remove the term with the variable on the right side. So what we do here is to add a negative 2x, which is the opposite of our term here, so we can make it 0. And we also add a negative 2x on the left side. This gives us 7x plus a negative 2x as equal to, this will give us 0x, so cancel, and negative 15 left. And finally, we can do simplification here, 7x plus negative 2x. So 7 minus 2, or 7 plus negative 2 is positive 5. Copy the common variable, 5x, equals negative 15. And for our last step, since we still have a constant beside our variable, we divide it by that constant, which is 5. And that gives us x is equal to negative 3. And that's it for our second example. Now what about in this example with a grouping symbol? Okay, here we will be applying the so-called distributive property. Okay, where we distribute the term outside to the terms inside. And when we say distribute, it means we are multiplying it to the terms inside because the parenthesis also represents multiplication. Like, for example, if you've seen a term written in this way, 2 close and open parenthesis 3x, that means 2 times 3x. And this is simply 6x. Okay, like that. And here in our example, the only difference is that we have 2 terms inside our grouping symbol, so we distribute it to each of the terms. So 3 times 3y, let me write it here, 3 times 3y plus, okay, we add it by multiplying 3 again by 4 as equal to 2 times 2y, and then again plus 2 times 1. And simplifying each, 3 times 3y is 9y, 3 times 4 is 12, 2 times 2y is 4y, and 2 times 1 is 2. Now, this linear equation is similar with our first two examples, so we can do simplification, okay, by whether adding or subtracting term on both sides. So let's do that. Let's remove 12 here by adding negative 12. So let's add negative 12 or minus 12. That will be the same. So we can cancel this and we'll have 9y as equal to 4y plus 2 plus a negative 12. And to simplify this 2 plus a negative 12, let's write the others. 2 plus a negative 12 is a negative 10. And lastly, let us also subtract or add a negative 4y on both sides. So we'll have 9y, add a negative 4y as equal to, this will become 0 or cancelled, negative 10. So what is 9? 9y plus negative 4y. So that is simply 5y is equal to negative 10. Lastly, divide both sides by 5. So we can remove the 5 here, and y will be equal to negative 2. For our last example, you may try to solve for y here. We have 2 times quantity y minus 1 plus 3 times quantity y minus 1 as equal to 4 minus 2y. If you know the answer, don't forget to comment your answer in our comment section.